Hello crafters! This is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and I'm here with the Collaged Bird Collection. This is designed by Dina Wakley. It's a very nature-themed collection. Lots of birds, some betterpress, all sorts of goodies in this collection. Alrighty crafters, let's get into Collaged Bird. Let's get started. This is the entirety of the Collaged Birds collection. This is a collection that can easily go into mixed media. So it plays on both sides. Great for card making and everything else, and also going into mixed media and stretching it further. So this is fun. There is 2 betterpress image sets with coordinating die and sentiments, and then there is a sentiment set betterpress, and all of these you can press or glimmer and then die cut. And 2 embossing folders. One is a 2D embossing folder, one is a 3D embossing folder. You would use Universal Plate System for the 3D embossing folder. Both embossing folders are 5.5 inch wide, 8.5 inch tall. 2D embossing folder is called Scribbled Letter Embossing Folder. Look at that. I don't even know what language this is in. Really nice though. I love the way it's like a really free-form handwriting. Really, really nice. And then this one is more like telling a whole story with some birds, more like a typewriter style. Really pretty. This embossing folder is called Soaring. You see the birds and then that typewriter print. Fun. The Holding Your Heart Sentiment set. These are the sentiments pressed out on porcelain cotton card. This is with pine betterpress ink, black betterpress ink. So you get these sets of sentiments, 2 sets of them. You can get about 6 sets out of 1 sheet of cardstock. I love that these edges are not sharp edges. They do have a little torn feel to them. And then this layers up on top of each set of sentiments to cut it out, okay? Fun. And then there is the Collaged Birds Place and Press. So place and press means that it comes with the registration plate. This is a great time to use my betterpress hack. I'll link my betterpress hack video here. And I did the collage as is shown here. There is a sentiment piece and then some little splatters. And then the 3 birds, they do have coordinating die if you want to use these outside of always bringing it in with this. You could just use it as an accent then and turn it into like a sticker when you have the coordinating die. Same thing here with the Feather Dream. All 3 feathers have coordinating die. So you can cut these individually and then stick them everywhere. And then here's a sentiment set right here again. This sentiment matches the one in the 2D embossing folder. Same type of sentiment, but in betterpress. This does not have a coordinating die. It's called Feather Dream Place and Press. There is also a registration plate for this one. And I believe I did it this way too, where the sentiment is here and then see the feathers. Now, here's a funny thing, crafters. I'll be honest with you. When I first saw this, I thought these were leaves. So I thought these were branches. Did I read feather? Of course I didn't. I just looked at it and thought, oh, let me take out some pine ink and go for a branch. But funny enough, I stamped it different ways. I really like it in the pine. So here it is in like Tuscan. And here it is in black, but I do like it best in pine. So let's look at my first example in pine. I thought that was so funny. I don't know what I was doing. Here is a A2 card featuring both the Feather Dream Place and Press and the Holding Your Heart sentiments. This one I did use a registration template and you can see it right there. You see how it lays right in? Following the whole template layout. I mean, you could place this any way you want, but I just wanted to see what it would look like. So this is porcelain cotton card. In the back here for the sentiment portion, which is this, I use Thunder Betterpress ink, the gray ink, because I didn't want it so bright like black Betterpress ink. This would have been black Betterpress ink. You see the difference, how it's much brighter? And then I came in with the pine. So you see how the pine is actually kind of nice for the feather. It still looks like leaves to me. That's what I'm seeing. I'm still going with it. So I just layered it up in here. And then I had white space here and white space here because of this panel. I did use a pre-cut porcelain cotton card panel, the A2 panel. So I had a lot of white space left. So I decided to come in with one of my favorites. Perfect Touch rectangles and tag dies. Love, love, love. Started going on sale too, crafters. Fabulous. Love this little detail right here. I've used this one too many times since it came out. She's like one of my super, super favorites because it works with other foundation dies too, seamlessly, and it just adds that touch. Largest die is an A2, and then it comes on into a tag. 7 dies in here. The second layer is what I cut out with this. So on the edging, it is there with this, but you can't see it because I came in with this best friend. Starshine background die. How many times have I talked about this one too? Love, love, love. This gives you texture. You don't have to do the dry emboss like what you see here. I like to dry emboss. I'm using the universal plate system and the flexible embossing mat to dry emboss because it gives so much texture. And I think with something like this, with the feathers and the sentiment and all of this going on, I thought, well, that's a great place to throw some texture. Both of these are actually newer foundation dies and they have been going on super sale a lot. So if you don't own them, you might want to put them in your wish list. They both make card making easier, especially when it comes to better press backgrounds, glimmer backgrounds, your stencil background as well. So if this was a stencil, see how it's filling up all that white space when I dry emboss this? And then both of them layer and work well together. Fabulous, fabulous. Then I came on with some Yasatomo. I haven't spoken about Yasatomo in a while, have I? Metallic watercolor. There's some new watercolor with Yasatomo from Spellbinders, and it's called the Watercolor Mixing Set. It has pearl gold, pearl silver, and indigo. If you did not want to get the Yasatomo watercolor like what I have, the big pots, because of the price point, this is a nice alternative because you'll get 3 colors and a lower price point. This is the gold you're seeing here. Pretty. All you do is take a wet brush and then come in here with some water and just come on and do splatter. Then I decided to go further with it because I just got this from Spellbinders. This is fabulous, those Spellbinders. Thumbs up for this one. I even used the same brush and did a little bit of watercolor here. I did the 3 dots and some up here. And then I decided to go further and went around the sentiment too, just to see. So on white cardstock, this is what it will look like. Isn't this pretty? Some of the splatter came out here and here. Pearl gold, pearl silver, and indigo, which is black. These are fun. And like I said, it has a low price point. It should last you a long time if you decide to get a set like this. I do like it though, because it has that nice brighter gold. The Yasatomo pale gold is a different shade, so it will look different if you did get those pots like what I have, okay? I'll put a general link for Yasatomo so you can see both options. Then I'll put a direct link for this new watercolor mixing set. Does that mean I'm supposed to mix all 3 together? I didn't use it. Used by themselves or mixed together. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so it is a mixing set. I haven't tried that. Maybe one of these days, but I'm not that kind of an artist. But if you are, thumbs up, give it a try with the mixing set. Mix them all together, see what happens. For the sentiment, I came into this holding your hearts. See the edging? Well, it's hard to see the edging with the gold on it, but I use have an epic birthday. Isn't that fun? Here, I am bringing in some Vivant trim. This is fin cord. You know I love fin cord. It comes in silver, gold, and rose gold. I bought all 3 and it has a lot on it, like 97 yards or something. At first, I had wrapped it and I was going to put a wax seal. So a wax seal could have worked here too. But then I decided, you know what? Let me just put the sentiment because I liked what was up here and I didn't want to put a sentiment on it. So I could have also brought in a wax seal because see the feather wax seal? That kind of goes together too, right? Because this was so white, that's why I came in also with that watercolor in the pearl gold. Then I finished the whole thing off with silver mixed gems. So I'm playing actually here with silver and gold together on the same card. In the background, that's where I brought in some gray cardstock from my stash and then used that perfect touch. I popped up this whole assembly off of this. The Starshine is what finished this whole thing because if I had left this just plain white, it would have looked very flat. But once I did the dry emboss with this, thumbs up. Dry emboss instructions are available on all your die cutting machines. You just have to look at the sandwich of how to do it. Cotton card really loves to be dry embossed. It really gets nice texture. Now you see on card number 2, I did not do this technique. See how it has a lot of white space, but here I left it. But look how flat it is. That's the difference between these two. I could have also done the same thing, but I wanted to try something different. Because this is a mixed media kind of collection, I decided to experiment and play. So a lot of the cards you're seeing here is just going with the flow. Let's see what happens. That's how I did this, seriously. And I could have also brought on the die cut if I wanted to like that. See, once you have a die cut, you can do a lot of things. That could have been fun too. Once you have that coordinating die with Better Press, it moves a lot as opposed to it just being here in the background without the coordinating die. That's why I love coordinating dies with Better Press. I think it just extends it further. And you'll see that on my next example. All right, so for this one, I came in with the birds. Love the birds. For this card, I'm using the Collaged Birds Place and Press. Here is the registration template. So you see, lines up perfectly. Here I'm using some Altenew Fresh Dye ink. This is Bark Better Press ink. I haven't spoken about Bark in a while. That's the brown Better Press ink. Love that too. And then here is Thunder again for the little splatter part. So I'm using all 3 layers, no coordinating dye. I still use the A2 porcelain cotton card panel. So after I had all this white space, because the A2 comes all the way out here in the black cardstock, so that's a lot of white space left. So I decided to come on in with another foundation dye and have some fun. This one I haven't used in a while, but she has been going on sale a lot. This is a fabulous one. Heartfelt Thanks and Scallop Dies. Largest die is a 4 by 5¼ inch. So it's not a full A2 as you can see here. So you see the spacing? And then I came into the second layer and cut the porcelain panel. Because I had black with the black and then here, it was just looking flat to me. So I came on with some silver metallic pigment ink and dragged it on the edges of this scallop detail. Then I brought the same silver metallic here, but you couldn't see it because it's on white cardstock. Because it was silver metallic pigment ink. Pigment ink is what you use with embossing powder. I came on with some embossing powder too, silver embossing powder. I just threw it on and went to town. Now, funny enough, when you press with this, once you press it, it is dry. It did not pick up none of that embossing powder, so you don't have to worry about embossing on the cotton card after pressing. You can leave it if you want, but it is dry. So I did it immediately and nothing came over here. So it's just around the edges, just to give, like, if I came in with a little ink tool and did a little bit of blending. I was thinking about that, but I like the whole metallic silver here. I could have also brought this on with the pearl silver and painted on too around the edges like what I did before. But again, trying a different thing. This is popped up off of this 1mm foam. This is popped up off of this 2mm foam. I'm using all black foam here. That's why you can't see the layers in here with the foam. Love the black foam. And there's some new black foam crafters available in 1/4 inch and 1 inch in 1mm, 2mm, 3mm size. Oh yeah. I'll put a link below. It will be in the other items, okay? For the foam adhesives. For the sentiment, I'm coming into this beauty. I love this one. This has been going on super sale. This is from the Woodland Tales collection. I'll link my video here. If you love fall and you love everything about fall crafting, that is a fabulous collection. It has papers, vellum, acetate. That's the scrapbooking side of it. Then it has dyes, Better Press, all sorts of goodies. It's a big comprehensive fall collection. So there is a Better Press to it with the sentiments, a bird, and some goodies. This is called Woodland Tales Impressions. Love, 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 especially these sentiments that you can press or glimmer, die cut once. You're going to get 3 sets of sentiments. Here is Each Day is a Gift. This is using Simon's new collection from Simon Hurley. Look at that. And then there is Beauty, New Beginnings. And then the third sentiment is Little Things Make Big Moments. There is a coordinating stamp set to this. So this mirrors this. To get the coordinating die to cut the sentiments out over here, if you stamp it, you'll need the Better Press. But then when this is on super sale, if you don't have a Better Press, then this is really just a little extra. You know what I mean? You can weigh it out. I love the way that this looks. And I've used it many times beyond just fall. I'm using it right now in like spring, birthday type tag. Great set. Have fun if you're going to do the fussy cutting. I don't like cutting around those kind of curves. I like to use the die. And if the die was on super sale, then I'm like, okay, I'll just get it. Even if I don't have a Better Press, I'll get it. I know, crafters, is that bad. I have a haul video coming because I think I have a color wheel cardstock problem. I'm going to stop for a little bit because I have a lot of essential cardstock too, but I've been buying some color wheel. To finish off this card, crafters, I'm using graphite gems just throughout, just to bring in back that gray, silver, black look. And then here, the sentiment is on black cardstock, glimmered with matte silver hot foil roll. Love this card. I think this is fun. Mixed media-ish, not crazy mixed media. Okay, crafters, here's the next card. This one I had a little bit more mixed media fun with. It does have a black background. This is an A2 card again. I did come on with Simon's Lunar Paste in silver lining and did a whole thing here with my finger over the embossing folder, which is the 2D embossing folder scribbled letter. And I just wanted to highlight the sentiment because in black cardstock here, you really can't see it. So when I brought on the silver, that popped it up. Then I did a wax seal card without a wax seal on it. So I used the Feathered Dream Place and Press. I pressed out these two feathers, what I call leaves, and then die cut it out, porcelain cotton card, black better press ink. And then I also did sentiments here, holding your heart. I just cut out 2 sets of sentiments, so it reads, I'm so glad I know you. Thanks for always being there. So lots of fun sentiments in here. You see the edging? Now you can see it in the white cardstock. That little torn edge, love that. Really, really love that. So that's Holding Your Heart Sentiments, press plate and die. In the background, I am using the sealed squiggles. Love, love, love all these wax seal standalone dies. Got the inspiration because of this large feather right here. So here I'm using that squiggle in matte silver cardstock. That's from the Treasured cardstock. You know I love Treasured cardstock. You haven't seen it in a while from me, but here it is, cutting out that piece. This is assorted specialty paper packs that come in silver, gold, rose gold. 15 sheets in each pack, 5 styles, 3 sheets each. Each pack will have glitter metallic, matte metallic, brush metallic, mirror, and pearl. I'm using the matte metallic there. And here I'm using sealed twine in teal topaz. It could have been red too, but I like the pop of that turquoise because it was getting all black and white, too much black, white, silver. So I just brought in that little piece with this beauty. I love this one. It's a good one. If you don't own it, you're missing out because it gives you the look of wrapping, but you're not wrapping. So instead of having to do this part, do the paper part where you have much more colors because this is cardstock. And when you wrap the cardstock around here, it's not cracking. So fun. Love sealed twine. It's always a winner. You could also picture this then without this here and putting a wax seal and then the sentiment too. Finish this off with some opal gems. All right, crafters, I'm going to do an honorable mention for card number 4. Reason I'm saying it's an honorable mention because it only includes one item from this collection, the Soaring 3D embossing folder, but it is a full card. But the card really focuses on Rosie's Studios collection, which is called the Golden Afternoon. This is a A6 card. And here is the 3D embossing folder in the back. For the background crafters, I have chiffon here using the Soaring 3D embossing folder. I did splatter with some of this pearl gold again. It really pops here, doesn't it? With the bright yellow gold. Then this is coral. This is Waterfall Essential Cardstock and Sage. This card is featuring some of the paper collection and the dies. The 2 dies from the Golden Afternoon collection, and that video I will be coming with shortly. There is the My Life in Pictures, so that's the film strip that you see here. And then I cut out her pattern paper, and I'll show you it in a second. It says smile with an outline. You get a star, heart, and then this little banner piece, but the film strip. I love a good film strip die too. How many dies do I love, crafters? Many styles of dies. And then this is Cherish This Press Plate and Die. This is a sentiment set that you can press or glimmer, die cut once. And then look up here, there's this label part. That's what you see here pressed out on alabaster cardstock. Larger set goes with this set of dies, smaller set with this set. I decided to go with this, and then I cut it out and then use that little outer piece. I like the double layer too with this. Fun to cherish this. So these are the 2 sets of dies or better press and die from Golden Afternoon. And then the pattern paper, she has this Golden Afternoon. This is available 12 by 12, 6 by 6, and then lots of ephemera for it. Even some vellum and acetate. Really, really pretty. So my favorite page is what you see here in this pretty paper pack. So it's actually 2 videos in one now, crafters. You're seeing something else. Oh, I love this one. That's why you didn't see it in the back. I already took it out. This is the sheet you see here. Love this one too. And there's this. So these I've torn out, but look at it here on this card. So it works very well with the chiffon cardstock and this sort of tealy turquoisey. And that's why I did not bring in the standard green cardstock. It would have been too much. I think it would have taken away from it if I had brought in these shades of green for this. So I brought in Sage from Essential cardstock. And it has that nice, cool, greeny blue look. So pretty. So that's the honorable mention of the embossing folder in the back. Finished it off with the peachy gem. I think that's perfect too for something like this. Love. And I did 2 of the film strip and then just did this and a collage of flowers. Did I forget to tell you what the flowers are? One of my new favorites. So much so I got my second set. Yay! This is from the Gorgeous You collection. I'll link my video here. Love that makeup collection. So I received this from Spellbinders. I immediately went out and got this one so I can run them faster. Just have a bunch of them ready to go. Love, love, love. And it has a low price point too, so it's not crazy town. I took like both sets of these, ran these out. These little small flowers actually comes from the Scallop Journal card dies. Love this one too. This is a little new set. This is from the Simple Stories Vintage Flower Shop collection. I'll link a video here where I introduced the collection. I still have more things coming back with that one as well, but this is the die set out of it. I love this and I love this. Just fabulous. So it's a 2-part, 3-inch scallop coming on in, and then this little flower. You can use this like a little wreath or a swag. Here I'm just using those little flowers. So I just cut a bunch of these too because there's 2 on 1 plate, and then add those little flowers. And the centers come from here as well. I like the little centers too in this Scallop Journal card. So that is the honorable mention. Fun though. All right, crafters, so that is it. 3 cards is really strong in this collection of collaged birds. And then one of the collage birds I took outside of and still had fun with it using that 3D embossing folder. Look at the detail. I mean, you can actually read this. That is really cool. So I didn't have to do this treatment over here. Alrighty, crafters, everything will be detailed and linked below. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next video, stay crafty, my friends.